What if a single piece of chocolate could turn a child into an animal forever? And what if the sweet old lady living next door knew a terrifying secret about witches that nobody else believed? Today's story starts with a heartbreaking loss, but it quickly turns into a nightmare that no child could ever imagine. Hi guys, welcome back to Quinmax, where every movie has a story beyond the screen. This story begins with a young boy named Sam, whose entire world had fallen apart. Not long ago, he had lost both of his parents, and ever since that day, nothing felt the same. Every morning felt emptier than the last. Every night reminded him of the family he would never get back. Unable to cope with the grief, Sam moves in with his loving grandmother. She cares deeply about him and does everything she can to bring a smile back to his face. She cooks for him, talks with him, spends time with him, and constantly reminds him that he's not alone. But no matter how hard she tries, Sam's heart still feels heavy. Seeing how lonely he is, Grandma comes up with an idea. "Maybe you just need a friend," she tells him with a gentle smile. A few days later, she surprises him with a tiny pet mouse. And just like that, everything starts to change. For the first time in a long while, Sam smiles. The little mouse becomes his best friend. He spends nearly every waking moment with it. He talks to it, plays with it, and even shares secrets with it that he can't tell anyone else. Sometimes he would sit beside his grandmother and say, "Grandma, mice have the best lives. They run around, jump wherever they want, and never seem worried about anything." Grandma would simply smile, but neither of them knew that something evil had already started watching them. One night, while Sam is happily dancing with his grandma inside his room, a mysterious woman stands outside in the distance. Watching, waiting, her eyes never leave the boy. There was something unnatural about her stare, something that sent chills down your spine. At the same time, Grandma suddenly begins feeling sick. Her health takes a frightening turn, and for a while it looks serious. Thankfully, she recovers soon after, but the strange timing feels unsettling. Wanting to take Sam's mind off things, Grandma decides they should go shopping together. The two head into town. At first everything seems normal, but then something strange happens. For just a few moments, Sam gets separated from his grandmother, and that's when a woman approaches him. A woman with an unsettling smile. A woman carrying chocolates. The moment she appears, Sam freezes. It's the exact same woman who had been watching their house. She kneels beside him and holds out a piece of chocolate. "Come here, sweetheart," she says softly. Her voice sounds sweet, almost too sweet. There's something hypnotic about the way she speaks. Something that feels wrong, as if she's trying to pull him under a spell. Standing beside her is a strange snake that slowly slithers across the ground. The entire scene feels disturbing. Sam doesn't know why, but every instinct inside him tells him to stay away. Then suddenly, "Sam!" Grandma's voice echoes through the store. The spell is broken. Sam immediately turns and runs toward her. The mysterious woman vanishes without a trace, almost as if she was never there. Later that day, after they return home, Sam tells his grandmother everything. "Grandma, there was a really strange woman at the store today. She kept trying to give me chocolate. She talked funny, and she even had a snake with her." The second Grandma hears those words, her expression changes completely. The warmth disappears from her face. Fear takes its place. She slowly sits down. Then she says something that sends a chill through Sam's body. "My boy, that wasn't an ordinary woman. That was a witch." Sam stares at her. "A witch?" Grandma nods. She explains that witches often use treats, gifts, and tricks to lure children closer. "That's why I always tell you never to accept food from strangers," she says. "If she offered you chocolate, she wasn't being kind. She was setting a trap." Then Grandma decides it's finally time to tell him a secret she has kept buried for years. A secret from her own childhood. When I was 10 years old, she begins, I had a best friend. The room grows silent. We were walking together one day when she suddenly disappeared. Young Grandma searched everywhere until she spotted her friend standing beside a strange woman. The woman was offering her chocolate. Something felt terribly wrong, so she grabbed her friend and pulled her away. But the next day, something impossible happened. As Grandma watched in horror, her friend began changing, twisting, transforming, right before her eyes, until she became a chicken, a Roald chicken. Grandma never forgot that day, and she never forgot the woman responsible, a witch. Since then, she has spent her entire life avoiding them. Listen carefully, Sam, she says. If you ever see someone like that again, you tell me immediately. Never take anything from them. Never trust them. Because witches don't just hurt children. They make them disappear. Sam's grandmother suddenly looks worried and tells him that they need to leave immediately. She explains that the witches have already noticed their home, and poor families are usually their first targets. She isn't willing to take any chances. Not far from their house stands a luxurious 5-star hotel. Years ago, Grandma had worked there, and she was still on good terms with the hotel manager. The manager was a genuinely kind man, so when she asked for help, he happily arranged a small room for them. Soon, Grandma and Sam move into the hotel, believing they'll finally be safe. But fate has other plans. Within hours, dozens of elegant, fashionable women begin arriving at the hotel. They come from all over the country, dressed in expensive clothes and carrying themselves like royalty. Something about them feels strange, unsettling. The leader of the group approaches the manager and confidently says, "You know exactly who we are. We need the largest hall in this hotel for our meeting." The manager has no idea what these women are truly planning. Behind their glamorous appearance hides a terrifying secret. Their goal is horrifying. They plan to target every child they can find. Some children will be kidnapped. Others will be given magical chocolates secretly mixed with a powerful potion. The moment those chocolates are eaten, the children will transform into animals. According to the witches, children are rude, noisy, and annoying. They don't deserve to exist. Instead of choosing specific targets, they've decided to go after all children. That night, heavy rain falls outside the hotel as Sam sits with his grandmother. Curious and a little nervous, he asks, "Grandma, what do witches actually look like?" Grandma takes a deep breath. Then she begins revealing things that send chills down Sam's spine. She tells him that witches have unnaturally long fingers and filthy claws. That's why they always wear gloves. Their real hair is ugly and damaged, so they hide it under wigs or enormous hats. The more Grandma talks, the more frightened Sam becomes. And deep down, he starts wondering, could one of those women in the hotel actually be a witch? The next morning, Sam is bored. With nothing to do, he grabs his pet mouse and heads into a large hall to play. But suddenly, the same group of mysterious women enters the room. Sam instantly freezes. His heart nearly stops. He quickly hides before anyone notices him. The Grand High Witch suddenly sniffs the air. A child. She can smell a child nearby. Although she can't see Sam, she knows he's somewhere close. The meeting begins. Every witch in the room takes a seat, while the Grand High Witch stands proudly on stage. Then she pulls out a small bottle containing a strange glowing liquid. "This," she announces, "is our newest magical formula." The room becomes silent. She explains that if even a single drop of this potion is placed inside candy or chocolate, any child who eats it will instantly transform into an animal. The witches cheer excitedly. Their evil plan is finally ready. But as the Grand High Witch continues speaking, she suddenly smells Sam again. Once more, She begins sniffing around the room like a hunting predator. Her twisted nose wiggles back and forth, making her look both terrifying and strangely ridiculous. She becomes convinced Sam is hiding beneath the stage. Quickly, she lifts the stage curtain. Nothing, no child. But then she notices a small ventilation opening behind the stage. And there he is, Sam, the Grand High, which starts moving toward him. But before she can reach him, something unexpected happens. A chubby little boy enters the room. He belongs to one of the hotel's guests. The witches immediately turn their attention toward him. The Grand High Witch smiles. This is the perfect test subject. She hands the boy a chocolate secretly infused with the potion. Without suspecting anything, the boy happily eats it. A few seconds pass. Then something unbelievable happens. His body begins shrinking. His arms disappear. His face stretches. And right before everyone's eyes, the boy transforms into a tiny mouse. The witches burst into laughter. Meanwhile, the terrified mouse runs for his life. The witches are about to crush him under their high heels when Sam jumps out through the ventilation opening and rescues him. But Sam makes one huge mistake. The Grand High Witch sees him. Immediately, the witches grab him. Sam struggles, but it's useless. The Grand High Witch places a drop of the potion into his ear. Seconds later, Sam feels his body changing. His bones shrink. His hands become paws. And just like that, Sam becomes a mouse too. Now Sam, the chubby boy, and Sam's own pet mouse race out of the room together. During their escape, Sam learns something surprising. The other mouse isn't actually a boy at all. She's a little girl who had also been tricked into eating the witch's enchanted chocolate. Now the three mice become unlikely friends, and together, they make a promise. No matter what happens, they will get revenge on the witches. Sam rushes back to his grandmother and explains everything. At first she's shocked, then she's furious. Her eyes fill with determination. "Those witches turned my grandson into a mouse," she says. "Fine, then we're going to destroy every last one of them." And that's when Grandma comes up with a brilliant plan. In the end, Sam and his grandmother discover a way to steal the witch's magical potion and secretly mix it into their soup. One by one, every witch transforms into a mouse. Even the terrifying Grand High Witch is eventually trapped and turned into a mouse herself. With the witches defeated, Sam and his mouse friends live happily with Grandma, proving that courage, friendship, and clever thinking can defeat even the most powerful evil. What this movie actually teaches us, that true strength doesn't come from size or power. It comes from courage, loyalty, and never giving up when the people you love are in danger.